Kia ora koutou whānau. Thank you for tuning in to watch this video. Welcome to my channel, Workshop with Sha. My name is Sha Marie, and tonight I'm going to be doing a flip through of an oracle deck that you won't have seen before. It is very unique, and as you can tell, it is of Maori descent. So its creator, Bronwyn Waipuka of New Zealand, has created this Maori Oracle deck, and I'm very excited to be bringing this to you guys tonight. The purpose of why I'm wanting to bring this video to you is because the words on the cards are presented in Maori, and so my hope is that, you know, if you are wanting to incorporate this into your collection of decks that you currently use, then you would use this video as a reference to learn or in learning how to pronounce the words correctly. So I hope you do enjoy it. I am mesmerized by these cards, so you know, I may take a little bit of time with them. However, you know, I do hope that you enjoy this video. Please give it a like if you like it, and if you find value, please share it. And also please subscribe to the channel, as I will be doing future videos of unboxings and also flip throughs of the decks that I currently use. So without further ado, isn't this beautiful? So it's sort of just giving you an idea of what's to come, but this isn't even in the deck. This was a little personal message from Bronwyn herself to me, just thanking me for my purchase, and I just love it. So I'll be keeping this close. Can use it as a little bookmark, or, you know, something just to keep with the decks. But anyway, it also comes with a little velvet pouch, and here is the deck created by Bronwyn Waipuka of New Zealand, the Maori Oracle deck of Niu. So this deck doesn't come with a booklet in the box, however you can download it once you purchase the deck itself, and it's written beautifully, it's laid out beautifully. It's like no other booklet that I've seen before. It's very extensive and informative. Like, there's been no effort spared in the likes of, you know, the information within the guidebook pertaining to these cards that you're going to see. So I highly recommend it. It is on the pricier side of the Oracle decks in which I have. However, I do think it's worth it. So the guidebook itself is a 348 page plus. So, you know, it's very extensive and shows more than just the meanings of the cards itself. There's all sorts in there, the spreads of the cards that you can use, the breakdown of Maori words that are used within the book and their meanings, you know, and information about Bronwyn herself and how the project come about, and you know, how this come into being. So a lot of awesome information out there. It is on the pricier side, however, I highly recommend it, and know for myself that it's worth more than what I've invested into it. So yeah, this is the little box it comes in. So we have our message. So I'm currently in Perth, Western Australia, and it took about 3 weeks to get to me, and that was via standard post. So what I did was I downloaded the book, the guidebook once I had purchased, and I learnt about the cards and learnt of the cards, you know, while I was waiting for them to arrive. So I had a good amount of time, and you know, I already feel like I know these cards. So just in the package itself, it has another little message from Bronwyn. On the back of this card is where you will find the barcodes where you can scan if you have the app to be able to download your guidebooks for Niu. And also, this is what I love and I don't see in too many. It has the quick draw reference cards with the names of the cards itself and the meanings, the main meanings. So these are really, really handy, especially if you're learning a new deck. And it just saves so much time, having to flick through the booklet and find what card you have and then draw the information from it, flipping over pages and whatnot like that. It's just a really handy way to be able to easily cite and be able to interpret your message for that card. So without further ado, whānau, the first card. And that is Te Puna Manaki, respect. Te Puna Manaki, respect. And mutual trust. And so this here is very much so depicting mutual trust and respect. So respect to each other, respect to the breath of life, coming together and having hongi, the mutual trust that, we come together as equal. No one here is better than anybody, and that we acknowledge each other, and we acknowledge the breath of life which we both have. So we stand together on a 0-0 ground, so to speak. No one is better than, and we acknowledge that. So Te Puna Manaki. Tāranga is to release, and so this is the picture that's on the box itself. Tāranga is to release. So again, tāranga is to release, to liberate, to surrender, to let go. Patu pairehe is pretense. So patu pairehe is pretense. Pretense, fantasy, deception. Awareness to the situation, Are you trying to convince yourself or fool yourself into something or out of something? Is there someone within your space that's trying to deceive you, or are you being deceptive of somebody else or a situation? So patu pairehe is pretense. Kaumatua. So kaumatua is mentor. Kaumatua is mentor. So as you can see, they do have the gloss finish, and also the borderless. They are borderless cards, which I love. And then just the artistry on here, depicting what these mean. It's just beautiful. Kaumatua equals mentor. So to learn, to teach, to grow. To teach, to learn, to grow. Kaumatua, mentor. Po ngā werewere, po ngā werewere, po ngā werewere is optimism. And so if this card should fall in my spread, I would take that as the casting of the net. So the casting of her web, the blessings that she would catch, the catch of her net, those bringing them in and utilizing those blessings, you know, first to nurture herself and then to nurture those and grow those around her. So sharing them out also. Punga were were means spider. However, you know, the meaning down here is optimism. Tumatoinga is conflict. So Tumatoinga is the god of war in our Maori stories. And he is the representation of a fire energy. So, you know, aggressive, tumatoinga, differences, rage, anger. You know, rushing ahead without thinking of the impacts on themselves or those around them. Kehua means ghost. And so you can see here there's a shadowed silhouette person there. And kehua meaning negative energy. So this card is representing negative energies about you or within you. Usually we might see angelic forces, you know, walking into the light. However, this one here is going into the tunnel of darkness or into darkness. So maybe a depiction or a suggestion to ask, you know, what are they surrounding themselves in? Or maybe what even, you know, if they're spiritual, what is going on for them? Because they may be in a position not to, you know, that where they can't speak about this sort of stuff because, you know, they're thought of to be crazy or who knows. But there's a lot of messages here, and it would be definitely about drawing off your intuition and your vibes for your inquirer. So kehua is negative energy. Now this card was the bonus card for the deck, and it is ahi karo, eternal flames burning with the spirit of our ancestors. So as you can see, you know, there's shadows of your ancestors and the stars which represent those ancestors and your guidance. Here you will see 7, and there it's called a matariki. So the stars that we are guided from is the matariki cluster, and you may have heard of that, and even seen it represented as the 7 sisters. However, way back in the days before things were interpreted, there were 9 stars that our people were guided by, and 2 of them through interpretation were missed out. And those stars were really important, like very important. One pertained to the mind and your mentality, and the other to the words you speak and the manifestation of, you know, bringing things into your realm, your physical realm. And so those stars were missed out. So if you ever see the Matariki cluster or you hear about it and they're talking 777, kapai, that's how it's represented today. However, the truth of it is, back in the days and even to this day, we are guided by 9 stars. And it is only through interpretation that those 2 were left out. So ahi kāroa, a little bit of background for you about our Matariki constellation or cluster, our guardian stars. Hinengaro is the mind. So hinengaro is the mind. Your mental well-being, you know, clarity, meditation, getting into a space where you can gain some clarity, stillness, oneness, being alone, surrounding yourself in nature, or the beach, you know, wherever, whatever situation or scenario brings peace to your mind so that you may gain clarity on your situations. This is the card that represents that. Also drawing on your intuition, your inner wisdom. Yeah, there's a lot here. Spirit is your Waipuka. So this one here speaks volumes in regards to checking yourself. You know, where are you at currently? And are you doing anything that is lighting your spirit? Because if not, you know, your Waipuka, your spirit is dead. And, you know, it's depressing when your Waipuka isn't alive and awake and filled with the things that you love. So just checking on that situation. Are you being unique and pono to yourself? And the decisions you're making and the actions you're taking? Is it feeding, is what you're doing feeding your Waipuka to give the fullness of your personal life essence that you should be giving to the world or showing the world, or that was meant for the world? So much in here. And even the other way around, you know, if it's to come in the read, I would definitely, you know, look at, it's about awakening anyway, awakening the spirit and being aware of that, just checking in with it every now and then. Whakawhetai is gratitude, so whakawhetai is gratitude. So we have the light of the sun here. We have the feather, which represents peace, blessing, and connection or integration. We have the stones from the riverbeds in her hands, and it looks as if she's giving. So being grateful for what you have and possibly sharing that as gifts to others. But just, yes, an attitude of gratitude, most definitely, for what you have. Pi waka waka. So pi waka waka is perspective. How are you looking at things? So are you coming from a stance of light, being open, you know, and embracing the situation to be able to learn whatever's meant to be learnt in this situation? Or are you coming from a darker perspective, you know, and prejudging that and being quite guarded into the situations that you're going into? And why is that? You know, why is that? Not for you to answer with me, but just the question to answer, you know, ask and answer yourself. So yeah, I love this card, both ways. And then choosing, you know, what way do you want to be coming from? Okay, so if you're in the negative stance, is that where you want to be coming from? Is that how you want to be engaging? If not, you know, what is going to allow you to come from this perspective? What are the actions or what's needed to be done to have a perspective coming from this side, from the side of light? So there's a lot here in these cards, and I know time is precious, so I'll continue on. Kopu is Lone Star. Once again, another card that signifies to be alone and gain some clarity. Use your inner intuition, your inner wisdom, and to trust, you know. Trust yourself. Maybe it's a new learning for you, and that the lesson in this is to make a decision and trust yourself, or trust where you're being guided to. So Kopu, Lone Star, introspection, solitary, and again stillness. Mokopuna, and I love this card. So I love this card. You just see the night sky embracing this child, and Mokopuna is grandchild. So here it represents vulnerability, which is definite. So a grandchild to a grandmother or a grandfather, you know, is definitely the heartstrings. Considered our future, you know, considered the ones who are going to carry on what we've left or what we've built. So vulnerability. And just, you know, a sense of always being here, no matter whether you're here physically or whether they're not. So your atua always guiding you, always comforting you when you're in need. And again, that guiding star. Truth is pono. So pono is truth. However, this is pono ngā, which is your personal truth, my personal truth, your heart. Genuineness. So pono ngā. Integrity, genuineness, and clarity. So we have your atua up here, you know, fully backing you in your truth. Tuna, tuna, tuna is expansion. So these fish here are eel. They live in the rivers and the torrents and the currents of our riverbeds. Sorry guys, I hope that's a better view. See that? And I like how these cards reflect the light, you know. At times some of them look holographic, but they're not. However, when the light hits them, it just, you know, lights up or highlights certain areas of the cards. And, you know, as a interpreter, you can incorporate that into your questioning or messaging. But yeah, we have the mountain ranges, you know, with the rivers coming down, flowing. So that's like current that is fast. And this means expansion, a card of expansion, travel, journey, migration, fast change, going with the flow. So if this card was to come in reverse, then I would, you know, it would suggest to me going against the current. One or many going against the current, and just to possibly reassess that situation and just really be in tune with, is this the right stance to be taking, you know, because it's never easy going against the current. Never easy. And if that is the case, you know, ka pai, if that is the decision that you are going to go with, you know, it's going to be a challenging one. However, if it is the right one for you, then, you know, you would go with that. But yeah. Mahaki. Mahaki is pride. So this card to me is, I interpret it as a stand tall, be proud type of pride. A pride from a stance of humility. However, if it come in reverse, it would be possibly, I would, that would suggest to me that that was a ego kind of pride, you know, coming from the ego. But this way it is definitely to stand tall, stand strong, stand firm. You have your atua or your net of support, you know, who are backing you. And it is the right way to be going, to continue in that. Oi. Haki. So manawa nui is tolerance. So again, manawa nui, manawa nui is tolerance. So are you being tolerant of a person or situation? Are you being too tolerant of a situation or person? Or are you not being tolerant enough towards a person or a situation? Whatever the case, you know, it's taking a lot of energy out of you, and you need to be aware of that, to always be aware of your own personal energy, because if you have nothing to give, then you have nothing to give, you know, and you need to re-energize and recharge your energy by maybe resting, you know, taking that little break that you need. But tolerance, how much can you tolerate before you break? Before your spirit is dead? Before your Waipuka, you know, is just so deep in depression? So, you know, maybe a card that represents, you know, being aware of your surroundings and possibly making changes to those accordingly. Manawa nui. Resolute. Tenacity. Tohunga is knowledge, and I love this card. So the knowledge in which we have passed down through our forefathers or our ancestors, you know, and how we handle that basket of knowledge. This is our kite, which is your bag of knowledge. So what we already have, and also what we develop and continue to put in it, put inside, and also what we take from it and give out to others. So everybody has something, you know, and how do we handle that? In the reverse, maybe we're stagnant with our gifts, you know. Maybe we're a bit afraid to use our gift or be known to the world or be known to the community. You know, and maybe we need to look at our courage into that, or gaining or building our confidence, you know, and nurturing ourselves to become solid in who we're meant to be, and not, you know, shy away because someone else is insecure about our things. So everybody has something. I believe that. Everybody has something to give or something to contribute. Awapari, my bad. Awapari is flow. Again, not like the torrential flow, but the flow that trickles from the snow, you know, from the mountain ranges, down the crevices into the valleys and the streams, the waterfalls, and ultimately, you know, the riverbeds and our true sea. So awapari is the flow. Awapari is the flow, synchronicity, fluidity. Again, possibly, you know, travel, but in a much slower and much more planned and thought out process or strategy. Bonds is whānau, so whānau is bonds. Again, we see the Matariki cluster, and this represents how we connect to our family, and where we can draw our strength and inspiration from when we connect. So whānau is our bonds. Whānau, our bonds, our family, our connection. Kuware is ignorance. So again, we have the feathers here representing peace, blessings, and integration or connection. This one down here are the guns, which represents, you know, I mean, this whole card here represents the relationships or two people or two cultures or two agreements, two proposals coming together. So in the aspects of business, and if this card was to show, or even in general as a relationship, if this card would show, then I would be, this would suggest to me the message to be very aware and alert, because not everybody's like how we would be. So, you know, there are some people out there that are true to their word, and there are some people that will say anything just to get what they want. And this is a depiction of that, to be aware of your connections, whether you're going into business or whether you're, you know, bringing someone into your whānau or into your close connections. To be aware, to maybe even step back and just wait a little while longer, because there might be something that you will see within that time that you didn't see before, you know. However, you had already made that choice to say, yep, no, it's a done deal. Let's connect. Let's go into this together. So don't be too fast to jump into things, especially in the likes of business relationships or relationships. That's what that card would mean to me. What are our quick draws? Kuware. Kuware. Naive, intolerance. Yep, naive and intolerant. Yep. So ako is to bloom. So once again we see our ancestral star. These are the patterns of, you know, just their ever, what would you say? Gifts, you know, gifts or unconditional amounts of grace and courage and strength, you know, the things in which we need to be able to get through the situations we face. So this here is a piu-piu. This is the waistband of the piu-piu, with all the designs representing whānau or your hapu and your iwi. And this here is, you know, the making of the grass skirt itself. So these are used in our kapahaka groups when we are performing songs of dance or prayer, or, you know, we wear these in our kapahaka groups. And this signifies to learn, one, to master your skill, two, to teach, and three, to draw from. When you don't have it in you, then you go to the source and you draw from. Ka pai. Tamanui te rā. So rā is the sun, the light. Tamanui te rā. This here is both light and day. Night and day. Depicting the balance of both of them, and that they are both important to the essence and growth of life. Very, very positive and simple card. Tamanui te rā. Tamanui te rā. Growth. And yeah, both day and night are equally as important and equally significant to the essence of life. Tamanui te rā. Ho hau, ho haurongo. Ho haurongo is forgiveness. Ho haurongo is forgiveness. Ho haurongo is forgiveness, reconciliation, connection, forgiveness. That is powerful. How powerful are these cards? Very, very powerful. Alright, we have Tuatara, which is cosmic wisdom. And so this is like a mini little alligator that, you know, thankfully doesn't bite us. But it has a tongue like a frog. So Tuatara is cosmic wisdom. Tuatara is your cosmic wisdom. And transdimensional, so drawing from your source, drawing from the source, drawing from your atua, drawing from your inner wisdom, you know, and not only drawing from, but actually listening or recognizing the signs. So the signs that your atua are about you, leading you and guiding you, or even just confirming that you're on the right path. So deja vu sightings, audible messages that you might hear that, but you think, oh my God, I think I'm crazy, you know. Actually, no, it's your higher wisdom, it's your atua, it's your cosmic wisdom, your spirit to spirit sense and communications, and drawing from that and listening out for those messages, or being aware of those signs that are showing up around places, like such as the angel numbers, you know, or that song that plays on the radio, or when you sing a song and then you walk into the store and sure enough there it starts playing. So these are cosmic wisdoms. Those are spirit to spirit connections where you are being told beforehand, you know, of that something's okay or something's off, or that, you know, continue ahead. So looking out for those. Kaha. So we got a lot of, we're halfway through, I think. And kaha, this card here depicts strength, which is it's so on point, this card here. This is one of my favorite cards. So in Maori culture, each of us have a maunga that, you know, is tied to the place and where we're from. And also there is the awa, which is a river that is in the area of where we're from. And whenever, you know, we are asked where we're from, we can name our maunga or our awa, and people would have a sense of the area in which we're from, you know, where we come from. In that area, we will also have a marae, where our whānau, which is our immediate family, our hapu, which is our community, and whānau within that community, and iwi, you know, the wider community and the surrounding communities, would meet. We meet here, and in our marae, we meet here for meetings, you know, for hui, which is meetings, celebrations, and also tangi. And tangi is, you know, when we lose a loved one, it is their funeral, it is their tangi, it is their death and their passing. So to come together in that place, and this whole picture represents strength, which is a true depiction too, because, you know, we can go through so much in life, and we've been here, there and everywhere around the world, or we live far from home, you know, and there's just sometimes you need to go home to get grounded, or you need to go home to be surrounded by your family, to be, you know, re-energized again. I don't think you will ever forget where you come from. However, you know, being on your own whenua gives you a strength, a renewed strength to carry on with what you're doing. Ka pai? Yep. Harawene is jealousy. Harawene is jealousy. So harawene is jealousy. Just going to quickly flick through. Harawene is jealousy, envy, mistrust and suspicion. So this card means a whole lot. And depending on your interpretation, if it comes in the reverse, it would be maybe something outside of yourself having that jealousy towards you, or something you're engaged in, or how you carry yourself, or what you're involved in. So upside down or in reverse is outside of yourself, having that jealousy towards you, and to be aware of that. Upright would mean, you know, there's a situation for the current that, you know, she has this type of emotion about. So this is one of those holographic cards. Oh, there we go. How cool is that? And then to reveal, you know, the mama and the baby. So hina is perceptions. Hina is perceptions, maternal, illusions, intensity. So that is definitely illusions, intensity. Araki is leadership. So araki is leadership, independence, authority. That's from the Kutchor. So, you know, here, araki, leadership, strategy. You know, you need a lot of different characteristics and traits to have a leadership role. Compassion, you got to understand your people, you know, you got to be able to earn their trust, or have their trust, that you may delegate them and they would listen to you and honor, you know, what you were saying. So a stance of leadership. A lot in that card. I love this card here. Hine ahu one. Hine ahu one. So hine ahu one. So this card has a lot of meaning to this card. So what I can see here is the tiki behind, which represents, you know, the creator of heavens and earth, the source, the energy source. So we have our guiding stars as well as the moon, you know, the feather once again, feather, blessings, peace and connection. And however, this card could mean loss, you know, being that this baby is in the sky form and is a blessing, definitely a blessing in the physical and also in the spiritual. And then, you know, a depiction of mama in sadness. So it could potentially mean, you know, be a card of loss. Oh my goodness, it's getting late, guys. Let's go to the quick draw here. Hine ahu one is life, choices and experiences. So life, choices and experiences. One moment, Missy girl. Okay. Waiora is the essence of life. So we have our maunga again with the awa. And a little pepe in here, the little baby, which would signify to nurture your inner child, you know, to quieten your mind and yourself. Get yourself into a place that's going to allow you, once again, to gain some clarity on certain situations and even build yourself up, doing something for yourself. And again, we have the feather here. So, Waiora is the essence of life. Utu is karma. So utu is karma. Again, we have the reflection of these heron bird here with the feather again. Once again, the mountains. So what we put out, you know, we're going to get back. Utu, justice, outcome, and accountability. So being accountable for the actions or the words that we put out into the world, and knowing that, you know, we in some way, shape or form are going to get that back. So karma, being aware of what we put out into the world. Atawhai. Atawhai is compassion. So again, you know, I love that. Going to the source, gaining, you know, gaining what you need direct from the source and being able to give that out because now you have it. So atawhai, compassion, empathy, and being receptive. Wakatoa, I love this card. Wakatoa. Wakatoa is momentum. And so this here is the Pahutakawa tree, a native tree in New Zealand. This here is our warrior, you know, rowing in their canoe, and it represents momentum. So about unity, oneness, moving in the same direction, wanting for the same goal and moving towards that. Momentum, strength, delegation, your supports that you have around them and relying on them, and also stepping up to the bar, you know, because they are also needing you to do your part as well. So wakatoa is momentum. My mouse. Ooh. So this is the thing with gloss cards. Papatuinuku is foundation. So, you know, checking and being aware of your foundation, and just upright, kapai, checking in, is everything solid and strong, or is everything, is your foundation shaky? Are there things that need to be worked on? Are there things to be let go of? So papatuanuku is your foundation. So you have your roots here, you know. Are they deep and solid? You've got your marae here. You've got the heron once again, the moon and the star, the night sky. Your pepe, your babies. So whether that represents a child that you're looking after, or, you know, those you are responsible to, or your inner child and nurturing that inner child to grow your foundation strong, then this is what this card would represent. Your inner wisdom is manawahine. Again, one of those solitude cards, stillness cards. You've got the blessings again and nurturing once again your inner child, relying on your intuition and your inner wisdom, drawing from your energy source, you know, your the creating source. And also here, can you see that? That is a reflection. So trusting in yourself, backing yourself, standing in your strength, standing in who you are. This is a powerful card for me. Let's go to the quick draw. Manawahine. Yep, inner wisdom and intuition. Even deciding for choices, this would be for me in the likes of, let peace be the umpire of your decisions. If you have two choices that are, and it's quite hard to make your decision, whatever choice you are most at peace with, then, you know, this card represents that you should follow that in your peace. Let peace be the umpire of your decisions. Hine pū te hui, hine pū te hui. or hine putihu is harmony. So blessings, miracles, manifestation here, the mind of manifestation, a good time. You got your guiding star once again, and these are blessings. Things coming into the physical realm. Yep. See if we can get this out in 10 minutes. So this might be a set where you will have to, which I should have said in the beginning, however I didn't know it was going to take this long, you know, have a couple of, you know, watch it as you can, and maybe not in one sitting. So this one here is Whatu Manawa. Whatu Manawa is your emotions pertaining to relationships, especially that of, you know, your personal relationship with your partner. Solid, okay, doing okay, shaky, working on things, you know, what is it that you need to possibly work on to strengthen the roots of your relationship. And here it would be, you know, continue in what you're doing if you're showing love and affection, whether you're male or female. Continue in doing that, acknowledging your partner, letting them know that they are valuable and important to you. However, we can always improve. So what else can you do, not only to please that person, but in the likes of encouraging them to be unique to who they are, because that is also a sign of love. Two individuals coming together as one, and still as one in your partnership, to be individual, and let each other still be true to the unique selves, which can be very challenging to do. So that one there, Maori Oracle is Sacred Spark of Life. So sorry guys, Maori Oracle, Sacred Spark of Life. What sets your spirit on fire? What wakes you up in the morning? Are you working towards that, or have you made plans to work towards that? Are you in a position where you can make some space to start working towards that? Maori Oracle, Sacred Spark of Life. And so from just like the Waipuka Spirit card, this card would too be around the same meaning. Waipuka Oracle, or Waiora, Maori Oracle. So Maori Oracle, Maori Oracle. Fire, potent energies, taha wairua, a fiery spirit. Kaitiakitanga is guardianship. Kaitiakitanga is guardianship. So quick draw is to regenerate, replenish, especially in the likes of resources, or even business. Kaitiakitanga, regeneration, yeah. Te ao marama, representing the moon, te ao marama. So we have the two babies, ouch, ouch, miss, have the babies in here. We have the whales, which are guardians of the sea. We have your creator and energy source up here through the tiki. We have the tui bird. So te ao marama is symmetry. Te ao marama, marama, te ao marama is symmetry. Self-discovery, growth, connection. Manawa Ora is the breath of life. So again, another card of solitude, of reflection, of gaining clarity, your inner wisdom and perspective. Once again, your feather here again, Manawa Ora, earth, the heart, taha hine ngaro. So, you know, making sure that your mind is in a good space, holistic, you know, holistic energy is balanced. Yep, so Manawa Ora, the breath of life. Kaniawhia is guilt. Kaniawhia is guilt. So if it comes through this way, I would see it as someone outside of yourself, you know, has guilt towards the situation involving you, and does have the remorse, you know, does have remorse. So you could be receiving a message of acknowledgement to that situation, or even an apology, but there are no guarantees, of course. But yeah, definitely. And in reverse, it would be you over some, you know, over a situation, and maybe having to look at that and deal with that, put it into its rightful position and perspective, and be able to release that. Rongo marairo is humility. So rongo marairo is humility. And again, in the background, we have marae and the night sky. Rongo marairo, humility, grace, and support. Whiro is ego. So whiro is ego, arrogance, vanity, stubbornness, harshness when making choices, no thought to, you know, the impacts of themselves or how it would affect them, or maybe not the whole picture, you know, but no thought to how it affects themselves or other people around them. So ego. Karanga is calling. So karanga is to call, and it is your calling. This here is vision, clarity, perspective, and creativity. So vision here. This one here, your atua, you know, is potentially calling you to your purpose, to your vision. However, if it comes in upside down, it may signify that you are running from, or something is potentially blocking you. But that would be something within yourself. Maybe it's fears or anxieties, or, you know, lack of confidence or courage. So karanga is calling. And this is vision up here. Pūrerehua is transformation. So, you know, the butterfly, harmonic butterfly, signifying change. How that they have to leave their past, you know, leave their past in order to live in their new future, into their best lives, transformed from their past. So pūrerehua is transformation, to change, to shift. Kaipuku is indulgence. So this card here pertains to anything that you're excessively indulgent in. So signifying addiction, situations, relational, you know, codependency, just negative aspects of indulgence. But however, this here, you know, signifying that no matter what situations we get ourselves into, we will always, you know, we always have our atua watching over us, leading us and guiding us. However, we got to listen out or, you know, be aware of the signs that they put in place for us. So if you are in that situation and you are wanting to make changes, there is a different path to where you are currently walking. And it's about, you know, changing your environments and gaining supports, or getting supports around you that are going to bring the best and want the best for you, you know. Very challenging road, I must say, been there myself, but it can be done, can be done. Yep. Rehua. So Rehua is healing star. So this to me depicts burden, you know, one who was burdened by the weight of the world. However, you know, our atua will never let us go through things and bear that weight by ourselves, you know. It might be about sharing with your atua and releasing, being able to release what you're carrying so that you may stand. Yeah, Rehua is healing star. You're not alone. Even if you are alone physically, you have your atua to kōrero to speak to. You have nature to go and, you know, release some steam and yell at the stars, or I don't know what. Hine nui te pō is change. So hine nui te pō is change. Transition and to shift. Yep. Tōna anawe is procrastination, idleness, and stagnant. No movement. Yep. Matariki, again, is the depiction of the star cluster, Matariki. And now we know that there are actually 9 stars that guide the Maori people. Goodwill, helpfulness, caring, aware of your environments, and willing to help, support, tautoko those in need. Moi moia is vision. Again, you got your clarity, your sight. So we're in an eye here around the back, if you can see that. Clarity, vision, creativity. What do you see? And also the balance of light and day, night and day. Another good card for manifestation and even planning to, you know, take the steps necessary in being able to do what you can do towards your attaining your goals, and leave what you cannot do. Leave that which is out of your control. Positive card. Aihe is faith. So it's very interesting to see the dolphin. This is probably the only card that I sort of went, you know, not that it doesn't mean what it's saying down here. However, dolphins tend to roll in pods, you know. They are hardly anywhere by themselves. They're always either in twos or, you know, pods. So it was very interesting when I saw this as one dolphin only. However, it does signify, you know, travel, play, happiness, carefree, expansive travel. So pertaining to, you know, many places around the world or around your hapu that you're traveling, that you will be traveling, and faith, to have faith. I hear freedom, joy, and possibilities, most definitely. Hauora is the energy of life. Once again, we have our feather down here. Hauora, Ho ora. Hang on my mousey mouse. Air, expression, taha tinana. Again with the mind. Quieting the mind, gaining clarity. So there's quite a few cards of that express these types of, you know, being still with yourself and meditation, and find your quiet place and go within, you know, to sort for clarity, because a lot of what we are asking for, a lot of the questions that we do have, we do gain answers for, but we're not listening. We're just so crowded by the noise of the world, you know, the things outside of us and even within. We got so much going on at times that we don't even know what's what from what sometimes, you know. So it is about being aware that sometimes we got to be still and we got to re-energize. You know, and we got to stay strong. And maybe if we're weak, that's when we need to be drawing from our atua, you know, and replenishing our energies and our sources of courage, of strength, of faith, of confidence, of energy. So yeah. What was this one here? Sorry. Ho water. Ho water. Like water. Ho water. Ho ora. Like water, but not water. It's ora. Pupurangi signifies patience, and so this is another one of those holographic ones. Definitely depicts patience. I love this card, and sometimes we all need to practice the art of patience. Because this world moves very fast and our minds sometimes move even faster. So yeah, being aware and knowing that things take time, and not always is it, you know, about the getting to the end of the destination, you know, the fastest, but enjoying the journey along the way, and just really being present in the moment of where you're at right now and acknowledging that. Yeah. And that's it. That is the completion of our deck. So that was a massive set, guys, and I really do thank you for sticking with me to go through this Oracle deck. 56 cards we went through, plus because we had these other ones here as well. But yeah, just a big thank you to those who are looking at wanting to incorporate this deck into your current collection. Please use this video as a reference to being able to pronounce the words correctly. So te puna manaki, you know, in respect to Maori, the Maori culture. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Alright, that's me. I'm out. Bye. Ka kite. See you later.